is just fantastic.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to go through a few clips shared to Twitter of a recent Lolcow Live episode dedicated to Chantal, Foodie Beauty, Mariam, Everyday Biza, Big Beautiful, Biza Productions, something which she has herself responded to part of. You see, she's been on the drama train, which makes sense. This is the month of it, and everyone involved benefits in some manner, not least because the hosts of Lolcow Live have fresh content in the form of her life. When that dries up, I fully expect them to maybe consider looking at the haters. But let's face it here, Chantal is the prize draw. The aforementioned haters don't really have the size of presence, channel-wise, to warrant too much attention, even if there is, according to Chantal and many others in fact, hypocrisy there somewhere. With what is going on concerning Chantal, everyone benefits, even Chantal does to an extent, because it's free content for everyone. To those within Lolcow Live, this is different. To those within Chantal's world and haters, I guess they're the same thing, aren't they? They benefit because Chantal is getting more attention, which means they can in turn benefit. It's great for everyone, even if it comes at the cost of Chantal's dignity. So, there are still misconceptions because of Chantal's inability to comprehend concerning her being on Lolcow Live. There are gaps in their knowledge which then allowed for the likes of Yaba and Frenchie to go onto the show to then discuss their perspectives of Chantal's life and provide their own information. As somebody watching this, I know I can't go through all of that in one go. So we're going to go to those clips. Tomorrow, though, on this channel, we're going to go through that Lolcow Live episode. Because why not? There's a lot. And you know what? As long as we don't violate terms of service, we can, myself and another, can sit and watch and commentate where commentary is required. It might be a long stream.
How Livecast have together, and it looks fun. It looks like they've developed a friendship, you know, and they have fun doing it. So for me, I wasn't really just thinking, you know, of money potential. I was thinking of more of like networking, like building friendships and stuff, but I don't think...
Bro, you don't have friends. There's no way you have friends.
The only person I know in Chantal's life that may still feature every so often via a text message would be Pete's. She lives in an area of the world where she does not have any friends. She has no family there. She has legitimately nothing. Yet she still has a more interesting life than Amber. But without that support network, she is able to be who she has always been. Her one true real self, as it were. Realizing her potential by tax evading and border hopping and faking a marriage and claiming to be a Muslim revert. You're none of those really, Chantal. You're a LARPer. That's what you are. You're cosplaying as everything you want to be because you want to be perfect. It's why you use so many filters on your appearance.
If you have friends, I don't know who the f*** they are. But when you came up, we were friendly to you. We were homies. We were friends. You need friends. And you're saying it right now. When I looked at that, I wanted that. I wanted people to hang out with and joke with. And then you had it, and you threw it all away for what?
The reason Chantal threw it away is for a few reasons. The first is the obvious one, because deep down she only ever wants to do what's best for her. To be tethered to a routine or a schedule, or to have to be beholden to another person is not something Chantal is okay with. Another reason why is because Chantal only ever thinks of short term. Long term, this could have worked out. It's why I still think DSP would have been a great person to be on the show, but his personality rubbing against Keemstar, which it would have been that. The other two, Wings and Boogie, not so much. It would have been Keem and solely Keem. DSP's missed out. In the case of Chantal, she doesn't want long-term plans. She wants what can be given to her straight away. Also, she doesn't want to share. She never likes sharing. If you've seen her when she eats, she does not share food. She does not share money. She does not share life. It's why she's on her own, in a concrete prison overlooking a car park. Sorry, bus depot.
For what? Your husband comes up to you and requests to poop on your chest. What do you do in this situation? Well, the answer is simple. Run! Break up with him and fucking run!
To be honest, if she wasn't so narrow-minded and set on these border hops to go on a visa run, to then come back and carry on as if everything is the ideal, perfect future, some kind of attrition where she thinks Q8 will just let her stay. She should just go back to Canada and be a creator again. Go back to making videos, get a job, and live a life. But a number of factors changed that. She got a taste of the good stuff when she started making serious money on YouTube from live streaming, and she went off the rails, which then created more money for her after she had I'm going to call it a genuine tragedy medically, because while we can all speculate whether she'd be a good mother or not, I would not wish it on her. I certainly did not either. But having that ability taken away, I think, cut her from some, strings that bound her to being a bit more civil. I say a bit more. She's always been a crappy person. And as far as her relationship to Salago, since it's all completely fake, she should either get down with the scatness, or she should simply go back to Canada and ditch him entirely, and go back to being Foodie Beauty.
Alright, bad things are gonna happen. He likes pooping on women. Get out of there. Get out of there. We're not talking about a red flag. We're talking about a poo-poo flag. Get the fuck out. Open your eyes. Get out of there. What the
I got that clip from Twitter. It was actually sped up. I had to slow it down a little bit. I will be responding to all of it tomorrow, I promise. But we do have some parts to insert here. One would concern the introduction of Frenchie, and then shortly after, also during, I guess to an extent, Yaba. These two individuals, I should state verbatim, and Chantel are destined to duel. Yes, they're going to play Yu-Gi-Oh! To battle it out and see who is the one true, I don't know what it is actually. Something. Yeah? Okay. At some point, these three need to resolve their differences, but they're not going to because they're very strong personalities. That can't be denied. Not one of them can deny it either. Whatever reason, doesn't matter. Using Lolcow Live, or introducing Frenchie, or introducing Yaba, is well within their right because they know very little about this eco-space, this biome, this economy, as it were. It makes sense to go with the most well-known haters who are more involved in drama with Chantal than anyone else. I wouldn't get featured. I don't get involved in drama, which is handy, isn't it? In the case of FFG, she's met Chantal and obviously got the cat from her. That's an open discussion for others for another time. I'm not doing it here. In the case of Yaba, oh boy. Now that one's interesting because that also features, I believe, Nada in the discussion. I don't want to use Nada on this channel because he's been striking. He's been striking still, and I don't like that. So we're going to go to the FFG part because it's relevant.
Yeah, she could never be on one of our shows. That's a huge liability.
Well, thank you, Foodie Beauty.
Now that is an important statement, because it has been speculated by many on Twitter especially, that this whole thing, this whole debacle of a week, will lead to Chantal being on Lolcow Live Queens, or Lolcow Queens I think it is, isn't it? It is believed that's going to happen. It's already known that I believe Amberlynn Reid might well feature, although I can't believe she will be a regular guest on such a thing, because committing to anything that isn't doing nothing isn't really her forte, and she doesn't do well when under pressure, right? But like Chantal, very lonely individual. I jumped in on purpose a bit early because Keemstar's going to give his reasoning for it, and it's quite important.
I'll take it.
You call it liability.
I'll take the W.
I call it content. If she came up here, she had all these bankruptcies, and the IRS wants her blood. I'd be like, damn, Chantel, how'd you on the IRS today?
Boogie, if I had an active employee on one of my shows going around doxing people and actually putting them in harm's way because they're giving the information to a known criminal, that's a huge liability.
So Keemstar is, in this instance, quite right. He should never do that, associate with anyone or work for him even, that does that. 100%. I guess the problem really is that many lolcows are lolcows because they've done lots of really shady things. There are very few that are exceptions, right? Some involved in scams, that's quite common. Taking personal information from reporting people. Chantal's been doing that since she had 20,000 subs and was punching down on channels with 20k subs. Sorry, 2k subs. I remember this from my very first Content Constable. She was punching down and threatened to dox. She's always been like that. She's reactive, she's volatile, but so are many lolcows. Finding a way to not necessarily gatekeep or purity test, but to ascertain whether they're a good fit is tricky when you want different personalities. You've got to weigh up the good with the bad on this, but at the same time, I think Keemstar is right on this. I don't think Chantal would be a good fit if that is a risk.
That's way over the line. That's like
you got
leaps
good lawyers, but that keep them busy for a while, huh?
Yeah, hell no. And I
She's
knew.
them threatening the community constantly with lawsuits. Imagine that.
Yeah, I would. You can't.
Constantly going to sue me for what?
Like,
What's she going to use that $500 a month YouTube check? What law are you signing up?
Right?
The sad thing is, from ads alone, I don't think she's making more than $700-800 a month from ads. I think from membership she makes a little bit more because she does have a few members. She gets some donations on lives, yes, but not much. It barely covers the food she eats. I don't understand why she would intentionally keep herself in this isolation like it's some kind of penance. I'm not sure what for, though, but to intentionally, willingly, willfully cause yourself suffering is in a number of countries considered self-harm and is frowned upon or illegal. But then you have a number of problems that you won't get resolved because you need the Canadian healthcare system, but you have to go back to use that, and if you use that, you'll probably go to prison for tax evasion. And if you did sue any of your haters, especially the ones that are in Canada, they could counter-sue you for harassment as well. And they could prove it, even with all the deleted stuff you removed from the internet, Chantal. There is context to a number of the incidents concerning Chantal, Frenchie, Yaba, yes. But she, Chantal, is always the first to pull the trigger or threaten to do so, and then blink mere hours later.
Oh no, the chat saying Chantal would dox us.
Oh yeah, she's doxed a shit ton of people in the community. If she knew any of your info, she would have already doxed you.
We're locals.
You can Google my address. That shit's in news articles, you know.
He's doxed a little kid's school. He's doxed an old people home of the mother of somebody who had nothing to do with the community at all. He took a horrible person's info, but from her Cameo account. We're going back and forth. And she doxed that person from the info she got from Cameo. He's a horrible person.
There isn't much more that can be added to that. It is relevant. I do want to also point out, though, that within the realm of lolcow that Chantal inhabits, there are a number of creators that are like this. Sadly, it is a prevalent problem with those who are vying, jockeying to be recognized, acknowledged, to achieve a level of fame and success because it's a parasitic nature of them. Also, a low IQ smooth brain problem, where they will resort to using that lowest common denominator rather than simply addressing the criticisms they regularly get. In the case of Chantal, well, there's a lot of them, aren't there now? That's another clip we've gone through. I'm now going to go through one with Yaba. So you can see 3 different clips, yeah? Bit of variety.
We're going to be expecting. A big thing about Chantal is she's a Funko baby. So some things I kind of look past and just try to understand that her mom did end up f***ing her brother, which created Chantal. So of course, certain things are going to be expected.
What?
So there's that, you know.
What?
So this is now entering a realm of unknown for me. I knew that Chantal was a product of a teen pregnancy. That's all I knew. I know that a lot of the information we know about Chantal's younger life came from Chantal, but because she's a compulsive liar, it's nigh on impossible to discern the truth or locate it. It is possible that Chantal, because of the compulsive lying nature, was doing this as a child. Wasn't there an allegation of stealing food from an anorexia patient once? This is Chantal to a T. No doubt not diagnosed with a number of conditions she should have had treated when she was a child, because of the crappy upbringing that we believe she may have had. Whether or not it is a product of incest, I'm not entirely sure. So I'm not surprised the host didn't know this. Yeah.
What?
So I'll leave it at that.
What?
That is what the rumor is on the YouTube streets. Listen,
She's
I'm
an
repeating to
incest
you
baby?
Hey, listen. I'm here to spread the message. I am the messenger, okay? These are the things that I hear throughout my experience on the YouTubies, okay? I mean, doesn't it make sense to you? Or does it not? She looks just like her uncle, bro.
I may need to pay more attention, but after this year's end of year reviews, I came to the decision not to pay more attention, because as interesting as that is, I'm equally not surprised. I'm genuinely not. If it's true, I'm not surprised. If it's not true, I'm not surprised. I don't know how to be surprised by it. I'm not taking a dig at the North America as a whole continent. No, it's Chantal. I kind of thought Pete's was her brother for the longest time. I'm not even joking. And that was before I did Content Consoles. When I first started looking at her content, I thought they were brother-sister.
And she hears the things that we say about her and how because we call ourselves truth tellers, okay? And so now she'll come back and say, yeah, but it's incest. And she totally repeats my insults to her. And, she does that for other people throughout the community. Yeah, She's constantly bullying me, Keem. You wouldn't believe it, man.
Yeah,
like, literally, every day I dedicate this amazing show. Do you know me and her mom are good friends?
I'm not going to say that Yaba talks too much, but man, she can hold her own, okay? She will talk. That's not a bad thing, unless you don't like it. I didn't know she was good friends with Chantal's mother. I feel slightly sorry for Chantal's mother. I know in the past that Chantal's mother, even when Chantal was earning lots of money, was bailing her out monetarily. We know this. She was asking for family to pay for things because she didn't have enough to pay for, her fun times with Nada. I remember a lot. Just not the incest thing. That's interesting.
Oh God, no, I didn't know.
Yeah, we got a Christmas card together. Yeah, I went to Canada and we had coffee.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and that's really what she's mad about me, recently. Yeah, because we're good friends. Because Chantel's over in Kuwait, and I'm like, well, Chantel, since you're in Kuwait, you have no plans to come back. I'm gonna go and be the daughter that your mom deserves, and
Well, I just learnt something, and I'm not going to deny this explains so much. It's funny, really, because like Amber, Chantal takes a lot for granted. But when what she takes for granted is, let's say, taken from her by her haters, boy oh boy does she get angry. She doesn't have anything to properly respond with. Well, I say that. Chantal did put out a 40+ minute video on her channel raging about FFG and about Yaba, which I will admit I need to get to. I wonder how much of it is truth. The comments are heavily regulated though. A lot of people going in on Frenchie and Yaba in the comments. That's totally fine. Everyone's entitled to an opinion and a perspective. As I have not seen the video, I cannot comment on it. I do though expect, because it's Chantal, for it to be deleted in the near future. So internet, make it last forever.
Listen, I don't have any hate for Chantal. I mean, yeah, she's a hateful person, she's a spiteful person, but I truly believe that Chantal has some serious problems.
That clip was meant to be at the first part of the Yaba section, but I forgot to include it. Before she then immediately dives into the Funkle baby, is it? Or Funko? Pop Funko? Is she a Pop Funko baby? It would explain why her head moves the way it does on a spring. Jokes aside, because there are many that can be made, we will go through as much of this as we can tomorrow, because there's a lot to go through, and I think it could be entertaining to try and make sense and maybe add context where it can be added, and also learn, because there are many things I don't watch. I don't watch Frenchie, I don't watch Yaba, but they have very clear opinions and perspectives. And in the context of what is going on, it is important to take that on board. It's also important to see what Chantal says. So at some point, I'm going to have to watch that video when I get a chance. This weekend's going to suck.
Mary Moistmas, ew.
Maggie Moistmas.